So you speak fluent English, you've passed all of the exams, you know how to speak it. However, when it's time to speak it, you feel stuck. Everything falls apart. And you might be wondering, why am I in this space with my English right now? Well, I'll tell you why. And it has nothing to do with your grammar or anything like that. But I'll tell you, the real reason may surprise you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Frustrated to Fluent. I'm Devin Bruce. I'm the founder of the English Communication Academy, and we help non-native English speakers in healthcare communicate effectively with their patients, colleagues, and staff. And today I wanted to talk about something that's very important because a lot of people feel so stuck, but they just don't know why they feel stuck and how to not feel stuck anymore. This has helped so many people in the academy and back when I was an English coach. I wanted to talk about this today because a lot of people feel stuck with their English, even though they're fluent. And it's so frustrating because they don't know why they feel stuck. So if you're in that space, this video will definitely help out. All right, let's get to it. The first thing that you need to do before we even get into the why is to simply acknowledge the problem. One thing that I've noticed throughout the years is that a lot of people, they tend to run away from the problem instead of facing it head on. And a lot of that's due to feeling guilty or feeling shame or feeling that stigma of this being an issue. I remember I had someone tell me, Devin, I am a surgeon and people rely on me. So the fact that I need help with my English makes me feel like I'm worthless. And I felt so bad for this person because a lot of people feel this way. So if you are at that point where you're ready to simply acknowledge that this is a problem and you're ready to deal with it and let go of that guilt and shame, you're in the right place. I know it's hard. I know it's uncomfortable and it feels like a weight on your shoulders. But if you just simply acknowledge that this is a problem for you and realize that that's okay, because you're human, then knowing that is half the battle. All right. So once you realize, yes, I have a problem with my fluency. Yes, I have a problem with my English and I feel stuck and I don't know what to do. Now it's time to go a little deeper and to figure out what could be the real reason why you're feeling this way. And it goes past feeling guilty or shameful or feeling that stigma. One reason could be that you have cognitive overload. So that means that you are just juggling way too many things in your brain and you just don't have the capacity to filter it all out. That's especially true for people in healthcare because if you work in the ER and you have all these things happening all at once and you're trying to think about what to say in English, that's stressful. That causes people to feel stuck. I once worked with a brilliant doctor from Brazil and she could diagnose anything. She could diagnose complex things in English, but she froze when she spoke at medical conferences. And the reason why she froze is because she was processing medical content and language simultaneously, which is double the load. So one thing that helped her, which also may help you, is to not think in English in words, but in chunks. So instead of thinking, how are you? You think of the chunk. How are you? That not only eases the pressure of speaking, but it reduces the mental load because you're not building sentence word for word. Another reason that you could be feeling stuck with your fluency is because of performance anxiety, not necessarily for language gaps. I've worked with a lot of people who are not only fluent, but extremely fluent. And they were feeling very frustrated because they were like, I'm speaking, but I can't speak. And they were extremely, extremely fluent. They spoke very well. So if this sounds like you don't have a fluency problem. You have a performance problem. I remember I was working with a nurse and she worked in the ER and she felt fine talking to her friends in English or watching the movie and talking about it. She actually had a book club in English as well. She was fine in that. But when she was at work and the pressure was on and she had to deal with a lot of chaotic things in the ER, then her English really struggled. So for her, it wasn't her English, it was the situation, it was the environment. So one thing that really helped her was to practice those same scenarios in low pressure situations. So she was able to thrive in low pressure situations, like at her book club or talking to her friends, but she really struggled in high pressure situations, like working at the ER. So what we did with her is we helped her role play those high pressure situations in a very safe environment. So if she messed up, it's okay. If she struggled, it's okay, because nothing was going to be affected by this. So one tip that may help you is to create or recreate high pressure situations in low pressure environments. And that can be achieved in a number of ways. You can talk to your friends and family and ask them to help you. You can practice in the mirror. You can also record yourself as well. There are a lot of different ways to create that environment. And if you are looking for a safe environment, we actually have a free community for people in healthcare. If you are tired of being alone and you want some additional support, please join us. We have a growing community of all kinds of people, doctors, nurses, therapists, healthcare leaders who are in the same boat as you, who wants to do something with their fluency and take their careers to the next level. If you're interested in joining us, the link for that is in the description box below. Another reason that you could be feeling stuck is because of imposter syndrome. A lot of people may not realize just how this can affect you, because it's not very loud. It's not like, oh, I can't speak these words. It's very subtle. It's in the background. It's usually in your subconscious. It's usually that cloud that you feel some of the time. And so in this case, again, it's not really the language. It's just you not feeling like you belong. I had a surgeon from Japan tell me, I just feel differently when I speak English and I hate it. And that's a real feeling, because that identity conflict can cause a lot of problems. It made him second guess everything that he said in English. And once we started working with him, one of his biggest hangups was that he was trying so hard to sound like a native. So he really immersed himself with watching things on Netflix and Hulu and trying to use a lot of the jargon that didn't feel right to him. And so he couldn't find his authentic voice. He was trying to emulate something that just didn't feel right to him. He was also really concerned about his accent. He hated the way he sounded when he spoke English. So if this sounds like you, where you're trying to get rid of everything that identifies as authentically you, then I'm letting you know right here and now that you are amazing just the way you are. You don't have to get rid of your accent. Clarity is the issue. It's never your accent. I know that's a hot take, but I stand on that. So let go of the need to try to sound like a native. The whole point is not to sound like me. The whole point is to sound like you. You have the power. You have the voice. You have the knowledge and the wisdom. You have the brilliance that needs to be shared in this world. So focus on building your own authentic voice and know that, yes, you belong in the room too. You and your expertise and your accent is a strength, not a weakness. So just to recap some things here, when it comes to feeling stuck when you're fluent, it's usually not about the grammar or I want to use bigger words. It usually has to do with internal things that's keeping you stuck. It could be imposter syndrome. It could be performance anxiety. It could be cognitive overload. It could be guilt. It could be shame. It could be that stigma that you feel for needing help as someone in healthcare, especially if you're like a surgeon or a doctor or someone who leads teams. But I'm here to tell you, it's okay if you need help. It's okay that this is an issue. And we are here to help you. This channel is here to help you. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to understand what's really holding you back and move from there. And if this resonated with you, please share this video with other people who are non-native speakers in healthcare, because I'm sure people that you know are feeling stuck too, even if they don't necessarily say it. Also, if this resonated with you, please hit like and subscribe. And if you're really ready to tackle these challenges head on, we have a free 5-day Frustrated to Fluent email course that you can take. It's designed for people who are busy in healthcare, so it only takes a couple of minutes a day. If you're interested in signing up for that, the link is in the description box below. All right, so thank you so much for tuning in. If you are interested in developing more, here are some additional videos to check out. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Take care.